It's a decades-old joke. Cliché boomer humor. Probably been told almost as long as there have been telephones to call. It basically goes like this. A woman doesn't come home one night. The next day, she explains to her husband that she slept over at a friend's house. The husband calls his wife's 5 best friends. None of them know anything about it. A man doesn't come home one night. The next day, he tells his wife that he slept over at a friend's house. The wife calls her husband's 5 best friends. All of them say he had slept over, and 3 claim that he was still there. Of course, the number of friends varies, etc., but it's a pretty specific joke, so it has fewer forms than most. It's just there to go, ha-ha. Women AS friends are catty and insincere, while boys are ride or die for the guy who said, nice shirt, one time at a Wendy S. Cliché stereotype stuff. Now, if the joke happened to you, unlike some weirder ones, you wouldn't bat an eye. Either your friends suck or they're awesome, depending on which side of the joke you're playing. But, well, you'll understand in a moment, I guess. My marriage has been pretty smooth. Me and my husband haven't been together long. We only got our first apartment together a year ago. We're still pretty young, so we aren't always responsible. It happened around the holiday season, not right around Christmas or anything, just in the general time. Maybe it was around the 3rd? The old gang went bar hopping because it was the anniversary of when someone did something. I was friends with some of them too, but I could never figure that one out. I don't even think it happened on the same date every time. Anyway, I came home one night and he didn't. The next morning, Tom, my husband, comes in trying to look like he isn't a hungover train wreck run through a washing machine and miserably failing. Oh, well, hello. I greeted him with icy cordiality. I was brewing my morning coffee. It was a weekend, so I didn't need to head anywhere right away. I'm sure that had played into his decision in the first place. Sorry. He abashedly scratched the back of his head. Got a little too wild last night. And just where did you get a little too wild yesterday to come in today? I certainly think I had the right to be asking that. It wasn't any sort of party he had planned, or had told me about at least, that justified staying the night. Had it been, I certainly would have been more involved. Sorry, really. I got a little more wasted than I thought. Crashed at a friend's place. He rushed over to pour his own coffee, gulping it black as fast as he could to fight his obvious hangover. And what friend was this? I questioned. I was being hard on him, but it certainly wasn't unjustified considering what he just pulled. I think anyone would have expected a call at least. His brows furrowed in obvious confusion. I was a little relieved not to see him go right to guilty dodging, but annoyed that he struggled to recall even that basic fact. God, was it Jay? Dawn? It feels like I was at all of them. I think that having seen that joke recently influenced my decision by putting the idea in my head. Normally, I wouldn't bother interrogating his friends. Even if I were truly pissed, I would come up with a better way to press the issue than that. That time, though, I decided to go with the first idea that popped into my head. It wouldn't reveal anything useful, but it would make him squirm a little as payback for his terrible judgment. Okay, I'll call them. I had barely thought it before I said it out loud. Huh? He was confused. Of course, he was also still nursing a horrible hangover and next to zero sleep, so obviously that was to be expected. I'll call them, see where you stayed last night. The way I said it firmly communicated this wasn't optional. Okay, cool, he mumbled, already nursing his 3rd coffee. Let's see, you mentioned Jay, Don, Tony, Jin, and Bill. I thought through each good friend I knew would have been there. I dialed Jay. It took a second attempt, no big surprise. He would have been just as hungover. Finally, he answered. Jay. Huh? An indistinct grumble came through the line. Did Tom stay the night with you? I asked, trying not to sound accusatory. Yeah? He didn't message you? Did he make it home? I think I heard him leave, like an hour ago. He paused. Wait, what time is it? Don't hold me to that guess. His voice was a slurred mess of exhaustion and confusion. It's all right, Jay. I think he just arrived. I hung up, Clearly, he needed more time to sleep it off. So, that's that. It was Jay. Tom was clearly happy to end this quickly. You don't remember it being Jay's apartment you stumbled out of just an hour ago? I questioned. I don't think I can remember 10 minutes before I came through that door. He admitted. I was glad he was honest instead of going straight to insisting it was totally Jay and that he